Hello everybody, welcome back to the Meet the Makers podcast. I'm your host Jack Blanche, and right to the left of me is Ry Gerbrands.
Hello.
In this episode we talk to Mark Sweeting, who is a photographer based in Stroud. And Ry, give us a little bit of an intro.
So Mark got into taking photographs when he was cycling around the Cotswolds during the first lockdown. He then came to Claire and propositioned saying, would you like to sell greetings cards of my designs? Claire agreed. Claire and Mark are quite good friends. They've been on cycle rides together over the lockdowns. And he's also expanded, so he does calendars and prints of his work with the frames that we use in the shop. And he's all about the passion rather than sort of the more technical side of things, I'd say.
Yeah.
So it's about getting out there, finding that moment and photographing it. It's quite an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, I completely nerded out on this episode because being somewhat visual, being in somewhat of a visual industry as well myself, I was just really eager to talk to him about his process and how he kind of how he basically takes his photographs, because there is an element of photography where, you know, you can kind of spend the time on getting it right and getting everything in the frame perfect, but actually, you know, it's not just about that. It's about capturing something as it's happening rather than trying to force an image, basically.
Yeah.
And we're looking at his images right now in front of us, hanging up on the wall. Yeah, they're absolutely stunning, unedited. And they're all completely improvised, and I think may we all be so lucky, I suppose, when we're all taking our photographs. Sure. It's definitely something that most artists, you know, hope for and wish for, and he seems to have just found himself in the right...
Yeah, he's natural, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just found himself in the right place at the right time, and so I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I loved talking to Mark about this, and hopefully you guys will love it too. Right, enjoy.
I'm literally up on the column doing like a mindfulness walk, talking about photography, and the cows in the background, it all looks very tranquil and surreal, and one of them has projectile diarrhea. Fucking Liz's tail. It's hilarious. I need to put it on just as a look. This videography is not as easy as it looks when you're out with nature.
I probably should have told you that we started recording now.
Oh, really? Oh, sorry.
We should have that in.
Okay, yeah, fine.
I think these are yours up here as well, aren't they?
They are.
So,
yes.
Brilliant. We've probably already introduced ourselves at this point during the podcast. So, but today we have Mark with us today. Mark,
Hello.
tell us a little bit about
Good afternoon.
who you are.
Thanks for inviting me.
No,
Thanks for coming.
My name's Mark Sweeting. I live in Stroud. I've been here 4 years. I'm a key worker at a local special needs school, and I've just recently started a photography business. Just by really exploring the Cotswolds, falling in love with the countryside, and it all just started by taking some photographs. Then somebody contacted me one day and said, "Oh, can I buy one of your photos?" And I was like, haven't really considered that. So I sort of said yes. And then started to do photography and make them into a card, which are on sale here and Made in Stroud.
Brilliant. I was very excited to when Ry said that we were having you in today, because there's so many questions I want to ask you, but I'm also very kind of like worrying about all my camera gear and things like that, like how it's set, how it's going on, and how the quality's coming out now. I've just noticed we've got some music in the background as well that I need to turn off, so I'm already off to a thrilling start.
No worries.
So go on to the desktop, go on to Google, and then go onto the YouTube tab, turn off Fat Freddy's Drop. Sorry, that's my fault.
We're in it now.
Should we start again?
Nah, let's keep it rolling.
Okay.
That's fine. No, I was very excited to, and I'm also going into this with a bit of hesitation, because I'm probably going to nerd out at some point and ask you all these different questions about photography and what you use and all that sort of stuff. I got to remember.
I'm no professional. I just started this as a hobby. I've always enjoyed taking photos, but not really taking it very seriously. It is still a hobby, and I want it to continue being a hobby and not a full-time career or be labelled as a photographer. I'm just a guy that cycles, I go for walks, and when I see something, I take a photograph of a special moment in time that's then saved as a picture, as a memory, and it's now as a card or a canvas or a calendar. I don't class myself as a photographer as such. I'm not a trained photographer. I'm just a guy that enjoys nature, enjoys getting outside, and enjoys taking pictures. I think it's really important to stop, appreciate what's on your doorstep, get outside and enjoy nature and connect with nature. And that's what I've really learned about photography. It makes you stop and enjoy the moment and take time out and just get outside. It's so important for your mental health and well-being.
Yeah, that's a great attitude to have. I think a lot of people who kind of go into the world of photography kind of forget that, and it's very important to keep that element of it where you just kind of are doing it because you enjoy doing it and keeping it as a hobby anyway, and that's where people have find the value in your work.
Yeah,
because you don't want to sell something that obviously someone else might find some sort of value in it, but if you're just shooting for the sake of making a quick buck here and there, your work's not going to be as good. And if you can keep it humble, keep it
real.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't ever go to a location with an intention to take a photo. I just stumble across it, and if I see something special, I take a photo.
Yeah.
People have asked me to take photos of places, but I won't go there on purpose to do it for being paid. If it happens, it happens, and that moment will come when it happens and it's natural. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So all the photos I've done are just things I've stumbled across. I've not gone looking for it. It's just happened at that time, in that special place, which is pretty cool.
Brilliant. Anyone who's listening to the podcast right now, we have got the entirety of Stroud just outside our door, which is probably, if you're hearing any roadworks or people chatting, that's what you're listening to right now. So
and there's loads of birds flying around in the background. That's amazing.
They're being very polite and they're keeping quiet though. How did you guys meet then? How did you get involved in?
Well, through your mum, really, through Claire.
So Mark and Mum are friends, and then the first time I saw Mark's name, so he made an order online in the last lockdown, and Mark's a big fan of Nifty Nut Butters.
Oh, salted caramel is just the best.
So, yeah.
Oh, we got Claire coming in now as well. It's all happening today on this episode.
Yes, it's quite an interesting. The way me and Claire met was quite interesting, wasn't it, Claire?
The what?
The way we met was quite interesting. So we met on a photo shoot.
Oh, is this live?
At
Yeah,
Sales
it
of
is.
Common.
Oh,
At
hi.
Sales of Common, doing yoga at what time in the morning? 4:30, 5 o'clock.
4:30.
Absolutely freezing, but the sunrise was amazing. And we had a photo shoot done there, didn't we? By
Yes.
what's his name? What's his name? It'll come back to me in a minute. But it literally got.
Simon Pisey.
That's all right. Simon Pisey did a photo shoot, and it's literally on every national front page, wasn't it? This
Yeah.
amazing sunrise, with us all doing yoga. It was absolutely fantastic, and that's how me and Claire
All
met.
the tabloids.
And we sort of made friends and become
Yeah.
friends ever since.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
This is if anyone who's this is the first time we've seen Claire on the podcast, by the way. So if anyone was wondering who we're talking about whenever we mention her, this is Claire, everybody.
Hi Claire.
Given me some notice, I could have done my hair or something. So,
I wasn't going to say anything, but
Yeah, I'm now on the Buzzcats. Buzzcats are staying for a little while. The quiff is gone.
practicality. The quick's gone.
Yeah.
So then I guess things kind of progressed, and you've got your pictures now on display above us.
Nice
Okay.
to see you all.
Nice
See
to
you
meet
later.
you finally, Claire.
Yeah, so we at the moment there's 51 cards which are on a display stand behind Rye, which fits nicely in with the branding. It's all local nature and photography in this area, and they're all on the back of each card is where it was taken, so people can reflect on those landscapes and those images. A lot of people have gone to these places since I put photographs on Facebook or on my own page, and they've rediscovered their own area, if that makes sense. I took Claire on a bike ride a few months ago, just an example, and we stopped at Amberley Cemetery just for a break, a glass of water or whatever, and she said, I've never been here, and I've taken photos down there, and it's like a mini arboretum. It's amazing. And Claire's lived in Stroud 30 years, so there's lots of places on our doorstep we don't know about. And because I ride a bike, you can go down all these little lanes and discover like areas of Stroud and the Gloucester and the Cotswolds which you can't access in a car. And you can't stop in a car and take a photo. Yet on a bike, you can stop anywhere and just take a quick photograph, get back on your bike and go. And most of these photographs are taken on my cycling or on my walks in this area. That's developed into a calendar, which is selling really well. So that's all photography within the area, which I've taken across the whole 12 months. So it's quite a seasonal calendar. And then a couple of people asked me for a bigger portrait or a bigger image. So we've now got a canvas collection as well.
Brilliant.
And all our products are plastic free. They're all made in Stroud. And I use local suppliers to supply us with all the products for all those images.
So Mark uses the same people, a guy who's also called Mark and his sister, to do the canvases. So they do the framing for us. So yeah, it all kind of links.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really passionate about helping support other businesses and, you know, keeping it green, keeping it ethical, and keeping it plastic free.
Yeah, I might have to have a chat with them actually, because that organically kind of goes into my next question, which was printing, photography, and things like that. It's like a whole other side. It's like the second half of photography, really, and it's like people put all the effort into taking the pictures, but then they kind of forget the second half of it, which is where is it going afterwards.
Yeah.
And there's a whole like world that I'm still not in. I'm still nowhere near like understand as much as I hope I do in the future. But what is your process, I suppose, to printing your photos? Is there kind of like obviously you're doing it locally, it's all plastic free and things like that,
definitely.
but it must be hard.
a lot of time went into how I wanted the product to look. And I just wanted it to be about the image on the front, nothing else. No happy birthday, no happy 50th and all that. I just want people to buy the picture for the image,
right,
and to remember that place as a memory, especially in their local area. On the back of it, you'll notice there's a little paragraph about me and where this has sort of come from. I've learned a lot about myself over the last 2 or 3 years, and that a lot of that has come from the job I do, because I work with young people with challenging behaviour, and I've learned a lot about my own emotions, my own well-being, and how to sort of self-regulate and look after yourself and have your own self-care plan. And it's really made me sort of be more mindful about myself. So that's in a bit of a message on the back of the card. Took a long time to get it looking right. Took a long time to choose the graphics, but I've learnt in life it's better to wait and get it right and not rush things. If it takes another month, it takes another month. It took a long time to find the right material, the right product. We had to have the sticker made on the card by a special tool that had to be made. That took another month. But I think we've got a really professional looking product now, and it looks fantastic on this stand and made in Stroud. And that's all gone into social media, into Instagram. So the process was all there, but now we've got the template, and any new photographs just drop into the template now. My photos are hardly edited at all, so what you see is the real photo on most of it. There's a little tweak here and there because of the printing. Sometimes it prints a bit lighter than you've taken the photo. So some of the photos are lightened slightly, but there's hardly any editing whatsoever on these photographs.
All in camera.
Yeah, it's all in camera. Most of it is taken on my iPhone 11 Pro.
They're great, aren't they?
Yeah.
We're not sponsored, by the way.
They are amazing. I have got another new camera, which I'm just getting my head around on how that works and how you tell the camera what you want. Because I do want to get more into my photography with more of a professional camera, if you like.
Yeah. Do you know what kind of camera you're using?
I've got a Sony 600X.
Yeah, I know.
Which
Very good.
I've got a really good mentor as a photographer called Johnny Hathaway. He did my wedding.
Oh, really?
He's Western Bert's official photographer, and he's going to do lots of training with me on photography and stuff like that. But yeah, he said I've got an eye for it, which is quite a nice thing to be told.
Yeah,
professional.
100%. It's like, well, again, I'm just going way too into the nerdy camera stuff, but I just love talking about this so much. You've got the right mindset in terms of what you're capturing comes first.
Yeah.
All the gear, all the lighting, all the editing, and all this stuff comes afterwards. And it's like people forget that you actually have to have a good subject in front of you,
Yeah.
and that's what matters. The camera, everything else is like in aid of that.
Yeah,
rather
you can get bogged down in all the detail of that, really.
Yeah.
Just go and take some photographs.
Yeah.
See how they turn out. It's like the horses behind you. People are like, oh, there's no pictures of horses. This is like in some retailers. I'm like, well, it'll happen when I see it. I'm not just going to go looking for horses and then take some photos because you want them, you want to sell them. That's fine. You know, we all need to have an income. But I want it to happen organically and naturally. So I was just on my way home from work because I'm lucky enough to walk home. And they were just there one day, all stood under a tree. I'm like, wow, this is meant to happen. Camera, photo, image, done. But I didn't go looking for it. They were just there on my way home from work. Like they were meant to be there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's quite magic when it happens like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's really difficult to explain it to other people as well, but you've described it perfectly. It's like it is like when it happens when it's supposed to happen, and you just have to be ready there with a camera to
That's right.
capture it. And right, you've done a very good job of like conveniently placing all of Mark's stuff around us, so that I can just point it out and go, "What's that one there?" as well.
Totally.
Did people kind of know? Have people said anything since? Has this been up since before lockdown
So
again?
Mark came in with his partner
Yeah.
and they rearranged it. So I had them in a line and I wasn't really happy with them, but I was going on holiday and it was just like get them out so
Yeah.
people can see them. And then when I was on holiday, I saw that Mark and his partner had come in and rejiggled them, done a much better job than me. Because I was like to Mum, I'm not happy with them at all. And she was like, well,
Yeah.
it's fine for now.
Of course.
But yeah, you
Yeah,
came
we
in
had a
and
bit of a rejig.
made it look much nicer.
Yeah, they look really, really good. Sales online are going really well. Sales in our current retailers are really going well.
Nice.
Thanks very much for making sure I have the opportunity to sell in Stroud.
Well, you fit perfectly with us. You know,
Yeah.
your ethos fits with our ethos, and we get on really well.
Yeah.
And you know, you were friends with Mum. She introduced us. We get on, and
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's
No,
not
it's been a good journey.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, I'm exhausted with things I want to ask, but let's, because it's right there in front of us. Let's talk about this picture here with the bird in the skyline. That
Yeah.
one stands out to me particularly because it's not. You've got lots of landscapes here, but you're focusing pretty much on the actual landscape. You're not looking up at the sky. Why have you chosen that one there, particularly to frame up a little bit and just single out that bird in the cloud?
I think the colours on that one are amazing. I just left home to go to work one evening. I live in Burley, which is by Minchinhampton Common. The skies up there are just absolutely awesome, and it just changes so much. The climate and the clouds and the sun and the light is just incredible up there. And I'm lucky enough to be able to live right up on top of the common. And I just left for work one evening, started my 9 p.m. shift, and the sky was just amazing. Going up to the common at Brinscombe Hill, and I just stopped in the car and just took a photo, literally hanging out the window, because the sky was amazing. And what was really nice, I didn't even see the bird until I looked at my picture when I got to work and was looking at the photographs I'd taken that day. So the bird was a total surprise, I didn't even see it. I noticed the sky and how amazing it was, stopped and took the photo, and the bird was just there as a little surprise, which
Brilliant.
is pretty awesome.
Nice focal
But
point.
yeah, the colours in that are amazing. The skies are just fantastic where we live.
Yeah.
So this is the bird picture, which I took on my way to work at 9 p.m. one evening. Just noticed the sky was particularly fantastic and beautiful. Took the photograph and then realised the bird was in it once I looked at the photographs when I got to work. I think it's a beautiful image and it looks amazing on the canvas, and the colours are just fantastic. And actually the quality of those canvases are superb from Market Wallspace. That's not been edited one bit, that photograph. That's just how I took it at that time. Yeah, and you'd never take that again. That's why I take a photo, because that opportunity will never be there again to get that looking the same.
100%.
So that's why I'm quite random. Sometimes I'll just stop the car and get out, or just get off my bike anytime, because if you don't take it, if you get back just 5 minutes later, it'll be gone. It'll look different. So
Yeah.
you've got to take that opportunity to take the photograph there and then.
Yeah, right now especially because it's autumn and
Exactly.
all the leaves are going brown, and I
Yeah.
feel like it's like you blink and all they're
Exactly,
gone.
yeah, definitely. The light changes and everything can look so different within a few minutes. Do you want me to talk about this one?
Yeah, go for it.
So that's Burford Church. My grandparents are from Burford, but I've not been there for a very long time until my partner got a job in the village. I'm a keen cyclist, so sometimes I'll go to work with him and cycle home, which is 30 miles. And I thought, actually, I'll do that, but I'm going to go and have a look at Burford Church, because I spent a lot of time in that village with my grandparents when I was a child, but I'd never been to the church. So I took that when I went there that day. And it looked amazing. The sky was fantastic. I climbed in amongst the nettles, because I quite like photographs framed with trees and
that was,
shrubs.
I was about to say, you've got a
The
really
framing
good,
is stunning,
good
isn't it?
framing there and
Yeah.
composition.
So
It's perfect.
it's just a stunning church. I've never been there, and I spent probably an hour and a half just walking around, sitting in the cemetery and just reflecting on life, because I find churches and cemeteries quite a calming place to be. It may sound a bit weird, but
No, that makes sense.
No one's going to chat
no.
back to you, is it?
no, exactly. And I really like historic buildings and the stories they can tell. And there's some stunning churches and historic buildings in this area. So that's Burford. This next shot is when I was going at Butterrow Hill one day. There's lots of hills around here to climb on a bike, so it does get your fitness up. So that's at Robborough, Butterrow Hill. And I just noticed how amazing the sun was. And there was a bonfire next to the road, and all the smoke was going up through the trees, and the sun was coming down through the smoke, and it looked like beamed me up Scotty in a way. It just looked fantastic, and I just had to get off and just take a photograph.
That's beautiful.
And it's an amazing image. And that won't happen again with that light, with that smoke
No.
at that time. So you've just got to stop and just notice stuff and just grab that opportunity.
That's I think I mentioned this to you off camera, but the most expensive photograph in the world, it's called Ghost.
Yeah.
Very similar sort of thing. It was a canyon in the desert, like looking like that, and there's God's fingers coming through, the lights coming through, and
Amazing.
dust had kicked up in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And the photographer didn't plan on that.
No.
It just kind of took a picture there and then in the moment and sold it for $6.5 million.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's
Wow, we'll see where this one goes.
no. My point being is it's like you just have to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. And
And
sometimes you've got to wait. So because the next image, sometimes
great segue, by the way.
you can't go looking for nature. Sometimes you have to wait for it to come and find you. So I was just sat on the common once because I just found it a really calming and relaxing place to be. Just sat on the common, listened to some music because I quite like listening to music with headphones. And these cows just wandered across and just sat in the buttercups, literally behind me. And I just turned round and took the photo. So
Amazing.
sometimes you just have to wait for it to appear and for it to find you. And that's when a moment of magic can happen.
Fantastic.
So on the back of the card, just want to spin it round. It does show you what collection of cards they're part of, where the card was taken, and a little bit of a blurb about me. And
Is that you as well?
it is sat in a field full of daisies.
Nice.
Being a bit mindful, reflecting on life, and just taking some time out of your day, because it's just really important to stop and take some time for yourself out of the day. You know, we're all busy, but I think sometimes we get caught up in being busy or having to be busy. It's actually alright to stop and not do anything for half an hour, 20 minutes,
Totally.
and just enjoy our natural surroundings we're in.
Has this? You mentioned that this is something that you've recently gotten into. Has this been a thing that you've gotten into since going into lockdown, or has this been like a?
Yeah, this really catapulted in lockdown in May. I did a cycling challenge for the Alzheimer's Society because I have got another business which is Silent Discos and Care Homes, but that's all stopped. So I want to do something to continue my work with people with Alzheimer's and dementia. So I decided to fundraise for that charity and just decided to cycle 500 miles in my local area because you're still allowed
Just
to
casually,
exercise.
500 miles.
I've ridden to Paris before from London. That was amazing, but that's another story for another day.
We'll get you back on.
So I thought, do 500 miles and I'll try and raise £500. A lot of people were like, you're wasting your time. Nobody will donate any money. Everyone's hard up. The whole world was a bit uncertain with furlough, with people's jobs. But I thought, right, I'm just going to try and raise 500 quid. So I actually cycled 575 miles on 24 rides from my house in Burley, which you're allowed to do,
No.
on my own.
I think anyone who would tell you off for doing that is probably because they can't just jealous they couldn't do
I
it
burnt
themselves.
28,000 calories, so
Right.
made me a bit skinny, and I climbed higher than Mount Everest because all the hill climbs around here. And I raised £3,000.
Well
so I was
done,
well
Mark.
chuffed with
That's
that.
amazing.
Through social media, through engagement, through working with local businesses, and that gave me an opportunity to take more photos, and actually it did open my eyes up to our natural surroundings, because there was no traffic, there was no noise, and nature just came back in. And because nature just carries on, whether the human being has to stop, nature doesn't stop. It carries on growing, moving and changing. And May really opened my eyes up to that when it was so quiet on the common. It was just an amazing time.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic, beautiful.
Because there's the reason I bring it up is because I'm sensing a theme here, like throughout your work. It's like, well, just being more in the moment and letting that kind of, whether it be a photograph or whether it be a passion, whether it be a hobby, it's like you've kind of just stopped and let it find you, rather than you trying to go out and take
Definitely.
a picture or get into this industry.
I had a bit more time, so I could do more cycling. And I think leading a fit and active lifestyle is just the best therapy for any mental health issues. It helps regulate your emotions, your own behaviour. The best thing to do is just keep fit and active, whether that's a walk, a cycle, do some yoga. It's just really good to maintain a good healthy diet and an active lifestyle.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Our next shot, shall I talk about that one?
Yeah, please do.
This is the one that you were keen to talk
So
about, wasn't it?
I took my partner there one day just for a picnic. Didn't even go there looking to take a photograph. This is up by Woodchester Mansion. It's a really famous viewpoint called Coley Peak. We just had a picnic, and the sunset was amazing that night. And I just took that when I was there. Didn't intend to take any photographs. And the views up there are just fantastic. You can see for miles. You can see all the water reflecting on the Severn, and you can literally see for miles down the estuary. It's a fantastic place to go. A lot of people have been there since I've taken this photograph, or didn't even realise it was there. Thanked me for sharing a photo. Thanked me for that special time they'd gone and spent there and had a picnic, and taken time out of their day. But it's a really special place. Go there quite a lot now. Even in the evening, you'll find me sat up there just looking at the view. Because even in darkness, the view can be amazing. There's just hardly any light pollution up there, and it's just a magical place.
Are you worried that? Sorry, I cut you off there.
It's fine.
Are you worried at all that by taking pictures of these places and sharing where they are, that you've kind of lost your secret spot a little bit?
I like sharing my secret spots, because if somebody can go and enjoy that for themselves, or feel better about themselves, or take someone else there, or maybe that's a reason for them getting out for a walk and discovering their local neighbourhood, then I'm happy to share it. Some places I've got busier since I've been there, and I've shared stuff. But if somebody can get out and enjoy nature, enjoy the landscape and enjoy their natural surroundings, then I'm happy to share where I've been. It's all good.
Fantastic.
Put that down.
Oh, right. Has anyone said anything when they come into the shop and they've seen the pictures?
They just love them. They're so popular. So quite often I'll get someone coming in and they're looking for, like a 70th birthday card, and they want 70 on it. And I'm like, have you thought about sending, one of our cards with a local scene on, or maybe some cows or horses or something like that instead? And they're like, well, no, I'm specifically looking for this. And then I'll be like, right, okay, fine. I'll go stand behind the till, and they'll bring up like 3 of Mark's cards. And they're like, you're right. I'm like, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the feedback's been great, hasn't it?
Yeah. People love your cards. It was something that we were lacking before. So when you came to us and you said, I'm thinking of setting up a card company, showing my photography, is it something that would interest you? I'm like, this is something we really need. And I've seen your pictures online, because I'm part of the same Facebook group. So I've seen you post them, and I seen they were good. And obviously Mum was really keen as well, because she's friends with you and she's seen your work, so I was just like, let's do it. And then we got a special stand in specifically for your cards.
That's right.
And they've been flying out, haven't they?
Yeah, the feedback's been really good. Really, really good. I think people like the card because it's a memory or a special place they've been to, and they can keep that memory, so they can send it to somebody as a card or a gift, but then you can frame it afterwards and keep it.
Exactly.
Made in Stroud.
Made in Stride. Taken in Stride.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe that should be a new hashtag.
Yeah.
Taken in Stroud.
A lot of with a lot of our cards as well. So you're in there. It's not just a card; it is a gift as well. So I think that's why people gravitate towards the cards that are more a gift and a card in one, because people don't want to just get a card and throw it away. People are more conscious of waste and things
That's
now.
right.
So
Keeping it as a photo, keeping it as a memory.
yeah,
And
definitely.
actually sharing where they live and the beauty of our natural surroundings and the stunning area we live in. I think people are really happy to
We're so blessed, aren't we?
share
Yeah,
it. Oh,
stunning,
it's
loud
amazing.
area.
But I've just been for a walk this morning and that was amazing around Painswick. Absolutely stunning. The sun came out. So you can still enjoy a nice walk in the rain and just listen to the raindrops on your umbrella,
Yeah.
go and kick up the leaves. I'm the biggest kid going. I just love being outside and being out in nature.
I'll tell you something funny. So yesterday we went for a walk down to, the cemetery that's now like a nature reserve.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
we walk there with the dog quite often.
Nice.
And someone had piled up all the leaves.
Okay.
And I was saying to Rachel, I was like, why are they doing that? It's good for the ground, they should leave it. And I was like, hang on, that's quite deep. I was like, Louis, do you want to jump into those leaves
Why
there?
not?
And he was like, yeah. So I got my camera out, put it on slow-mo, he jumped in, and I thought he was going to jump in like this, and he just dived in face
Disappeared.
first.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
literally.
amazing.
I'll show you the video later, it's so funny.
Wow, why not have a bit of fun?
Yeah, exactly. We're so lucky. where
Let's
we
get
live.
muddy, let's get wet,
Yeah.
Just, you can have a shower when you get home, can't you?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of taken up. So I've done I ended up doing a lot of work this year in some really horrid weather, and I think it's kind of like become my new mid-year resolution is just to embrace bad weather here
Yeah,
in Britain.
embrace the seasons and embrace the different weather we get and just crack on and get on with it.
And it makes for-
You'll see me cycling in the rain. I love it. It's really refreshing.
Yeah, and it makes for great photos as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely. Yeah.
Don't add to the list of people who moan about the weather in Britain.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark, is there anything that we've not covered yet that you want to quickly go over, or is there anything you're working on next? Is there anything that you're hoping to do
Not really
later on?
working on anything. It's just going to happen and grow organically.
Of course.
Um,
Why did I even ask? Did you want to quickly mention as well your people who are doing the printing as well? Again.
So we work with Wheatley Printers on London Road. They're amazing. They do all my graphic design. They source all the paper, the envelopes. They've just had a new printer delivered and the images, and their support has been amazing. And he'll deliver stuff to my house because I'm a key worker, so I work full time as well, so I can't always be available to go and get stuff. He drops it up. I do give him a bottle of wine.
Love
But
it.
they're just a really nice local company to deal with.
Yeah.
They've been really supportive and they actually love the product as well, which is really nice. It's not just another client to them, it's somebody local they can help support and help grow their business. Mark at Warspace is amazing. He's great, again, really supportive. The retailers we're in, including Main and Stride, have been great as well. And we're hoping to obviously reach more people in the Cotswold with our product. But I'm not in a rush, it'll grow organically. We're in about 8 or 9 different retailers now. We've got an online presence as well. Online shop. We're now on Etsy, which I know Main and Stride is going to be on there soon. So we are looking at different ways of selling, but it'll grow organically. I'm not pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. It will grow organically because I've got a job as well. So it's all about a balance. And the photographs will just happen when I see them.
Well, don't lose that attitude. I think
No.
that's going to take you a very long way.
So by the
Thank
time
you.
this podcast comes out, we're
Yeah.
going to have a special offer, right?
We are.
So if someone buys one of the calendars,
Yeah,
so they retail for $11.95,
that's correct.
we will create a code and put it in the description of the podcast.
Yeah.
Actually, let's go with freebie 2.
Freebie 2?
Yeah.
We're saying it
We'll
out
go
loud.
with
Sounds
freebie
good.
2.
Freebie 2.
Because we've already got freebie 1 for anyone who buys products. They get a free tea towel on the
Okay,
webshop.
awesome.
Yeah. So freebie 2, you will get £50.
Yeah, we're going to do a £50 voucher off one of our A1 sized canvases.
Fantastic. Wow.
Which would be a great gift for Christmas or a gift for yourself if you're in home.
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
fantastic. Can I get in on that?
Yeah.
Of course you can.
I'm on it. Mark, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for inviting us. Have a great rest of the day.
And you.
Thanks,
Thank
mate.
you so much for coming on.